Okay, I think I'm live. Facebook Live. This is a new thing for me. I had to start with my latte, of course. So one thing I've learned from all the Facebook Live videos that I have seen is that the first thing you're supposed to do is fix your hair. So I'm just going to take a moment, fix my hair. Anything in my teeth? No, good. Kate, no smudges. Good. So now, from what I understand, doing that will allow me to have a successful Facebook Live video. So if anything else is horrible about this video, I have it's like a secret thing. If you do that, then everything else will be fine and it won't matter, right? Maybe. So this is my first, I don't know, is it my first Facebook Live? I might have done another one at some point. But this is one of many, I'm hoping to do kind of a weekly Facebook Live. But this one is going to be sharing with you some of the things that we got for free and got to enjoy in Orlando, Florida, with the ladies that I went down with from Kelowna and a couple gals from the States that we shared an Airbnb with. We all went down to Orlando for the onstage Stampin' Up! Convention. So that was a lot of fun, a lot of learning, and a lot of free goodies. So I'm going to share some of the things that I got with you so you can see what we got to enjoy. So one of the first things was everything came in, well, not everything, but our first, our pickup bag came in this really cool box. It's a really nice box. I'm going to actually repurpose this box and probably use it for a gift under the Christmas tree. But of course I'll add my own little flourish, if you will, on the front of the box so that it will be already wrapped because it's awesome. And then on the inside, it's all pretty stripey and stuff. And then in here I can cover this as well, and it will be a beautiful box for some lucky person in my family. Probably a, I don't know, sweater maybe, or something small for my children. I don't know. It's a good box. Anyways, I'm excited to use it. It also kept everything safe in my luggage, which is a good thing. So in the box, we had this tote bag for the 30th anniversary for Stampin' Up! Happy anniversary! And it's reversible, which is, I like it because I don't necessarily want to walk around with a bag that says 30th on it all the time. So the other side I actually quite like a lot more. It's got the polka dots. They're sort of fadey and watercolory. It's pretty nice. So I like the bag. It's a very nice bag. Really sturdy. It'll hold a lot of heavy things, I think. So that's pretty cool. And then in the box, we also had a stamp set. So this is it's a photopolymer stamp set. It's called Amazing Life. And it has just a lot of sweet little images in there. It's probably, I'm guessing it's backwards for you guys, because maybe not. I don't know. It probably is. It's pretty cool. Nice sayings. It says, life's too short to say no to cake. So happy to have you in my life. I believe in you, which I really like. You are amazing. I'll use that one a lot because I have a lot of amazing people in my life. So that's fun. Along with that, we had this, they call it a take and make. So it's some pre-cut supplies Not sure what all is in here. I haven't opened it yet, so. But it has pre-cut supplies to make a little note card. It's hard to see there. A happy birthday note card. So that's pretty cute. So I'll make that maybe on a Facebook Live. Ha ha! It's pretty cute. What else did we get? So that, I think that, I feel like there was something else in our, oh yes, what else was in our thingy? I've got a lot of things in my little box here. So we also got some very cute notebooks. Very cute little notebooks. My claims. This one is lined, but this one is a grid pattern, which will be really handy for designing card layouts, just hanging out at the doctor's office or whatever and just kind of sketching out some ideas. So I think they're super cute. And these are paper patterns that you'll see in the Occasions catalog. So that's kind of exciting too, a little sneak peek. What else did we get? There was something, oh yes, pens. We also got this pack of pens. So it had 3. Obviously, I used one. They're gel pens though, so they're pretty nice pens. They just say Stampin' Up! On them there. Anyway, they're super cute. Of course, everything is super cute. And then the free stuff. So during the onstage conventions, we have what is called Prize Patrol. And we had a number. I don't have my number here. Ours, it was a little badge and it had a number on it. And when they called your number, then everybody with that number got to stand up and jump around and cheer and then get their free stuff. So I don't remember which was my number. Which maybe I do. Maybe I'm like, oh, I do remember. Okay, so when my number was called, I won the Strong and Beautiful Cling stamp set. What is Cling, you ask? Ooh, yes, Cling. It's very exciting. Stampin' Up! Is changing their stamps a little bit. So we have photopolymer stamps will still be, as they have been, awesome, clear and mounted on the acrylic blocks. Wood mount stamps will no longer be a thing, which I don't know. I think I've kind of moved over anyways, so I think I'm okay with that. I do like that with wood mount stamps, you just grab it and use it. But that's okay. I have enough blocks. I have enough acrylic blocks to make my stamps work. And the Stamparatus, of course. You can't use wood mount blocks on the wood mount stamps on the Stamparatus, so don't need them. Don't need wood mount. So now we have a new product that's coming out in the Occasions catalog, which is called Cling stamps. And these are the red rubber stamps. Oh, this is my stamp set. It's called Strong and Beautiful. And it has all these awesome sayings that are just for strong people in your life. So sayings like, you are like a diamond, resilient, strong, and beautiful. You have what it takes to be unstoppable, and I couldn't be more proud. I have some people in my life that one is very appropriate for, and I'm tearing up a little bit because I think of some of the people on my team, one of which earned their Greece trip, it's a incentive trip for Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, and she earned it. She worked so hard, and I'm just so proud of her and so amazed and inspired. So that's Sue, and she's also my hairdresser, and I get to see her today. She's gonna cut my hair. Yeah, so okay, back to Cling Mount. So the Cling Mount stamp sets are the same, red rubber, but they are when you put the stickers on them, they're super, super sticky. So much so that you have to be careful how you remove them from your blocks, because you don't want them to become damaged because they stick that well. So I'm pretty excited. I'm not going to mount it or anything right now. I'll show you that another day. So cling mount stamp sets. Keep an eye out for those in the Occasions catalog. That comes out in January. Okay, next we have another stamp set that was, what do they call it? All-inclusive giveaway? I forget what they call it. All attendee, that's what it is. All attendee giveaway. So we have the Incredible Like You stamp set. So it has some incredibly proud of you, I just adore you, so glad we're friends, hope your day is as amazing as you. It's got stripes and blossoms and a lot of two-step stamping kind of stamps. So that'll be in the Occasions catalog in January as well. Very exciting. That one was a photopolymer stamp set. And then we also got the Humming Along set. And I know I have a couple of friends who love hummingbirds. I'm thinking of you, Terry Crucial. So here's this one. Has the hummingbird and the, what's that called again? I want to call it a, I can't think of the name. My mom had one in her house many times. I want to say hyacinth, but it's not a hyacinth. It's something else. Anyways, there's that. This one will be really fun to color with the blends markers or the pencil crayons, the watercolor pencil crayons. This one will be a lot of fun, I think. I'm excited to try that one. Okay, we also got all attendee giveaway this Gingham Gala 6x6 designer series paper. Very exciting. Oops. So this I'm going to open and show you because I love it. It's all these beautiful soft colors. So we've got, and one side is smaller gingham, and the other side is the bigger gingham. And we've got lots of colors. Let me open it up for you. So see that? Oh, so much fun. Okay, honestly, I don't like these colors together, but individually, these are just going to be, oh, I'm so excited. These are just going to be gorgeous. I'm so excited to make cards with these with you guys. Okay, another giveaway that we got was this really cool bag. This is sort of like it's a travel bag, I guess. So it unzips. And it's like a, I don't know, what is this material? It's plasticky, fabric-y material. Parachute fabric? Kind of like that. I don't know. I don't really know. I'm not a fabric person. I don't know my fabrics very well. But look at this. That came out of that little tiny, little pouchy thingy. So here we've got the zipper, and on this side, I've learned it has Velcro at the top, and then on the bottom, it has, let me make sure, there we go, the zipper, so that, see, you can put this over the handle on your luggage, right? Brilliant. It's very cool. So that's pretty cool. That was pretty fun to get. What else? Oh yeah, I almost forgot. This is pretty awesome. Look at this thing. This is a tool kit. I can't remember the name of it. They always name things, and I'm not very good at remembering the names. But this is a tool kit. It has a little pouch on the one side here. Zipper. Opens up. Why am I out of focus? Okay, and I put the stuff in it, but it has these things for pens and tools. More pens and tools. And then it's got these zipper pouches. Oops. These zipper pouches, clear zipper pouches to put more supplies in. 2 of those. And yeah, so lots of room for tools on the go. So when you come to my classes, you would be able to have, you could have this kind of a thing. I'm pretty sure this is going to be available for purchase. I don't know, the bag, I don't know. Anyways, watch for things such as this because they are cool. I'm really excited about this. I will use this quite a lot, I think. It'll help me stay organized because that is definitely not my strong point. Okay, coffee break. I've been off coffee for a while and I've started to have it again and it's so good. Okay. Okay, the next thing I get to share with you is all the cards and projects we did and received. So we do, as demonstrators, our team all shared in a team card swap. So everybody brought 9 cards of all the same. And then when we got there, we all swapped. So we ended up with 9 different cards to take home and share with our customers. So I will show you those. Let's see what we've got. And we did some make and takes as well, so I'll show you those too. But let me start with the swaps we did. So here is a beautiful card from Senia. Celebrate. She did some lovely technique on watercolor with some sponging there. Beautiful. Very nice. And then this one is from my lovely friend Sarah Neighbor down in the States. This is her card design to share. I really like the way she did her flowers, all different colors. That's super pretty. Sorry, it's still in the package, but and she has some. Oh, I'm gonna take it out. I'll take it out and show you. Oh, wow, there's more to this than I thought. I don't know if you can see it in this light. No, I gotta get better lighting. But you can see that she's got this embossed, but this, if you look more closely, is embossed as well. And that, I think, is the Subtles embossing folder, which I don't have. But boy, that adds a nice texture. It reminds me of the textured cardstock Stampin' Up! Used to have back in the day. And then here, she's got some threads. Oh, I don't know if you can see them. Can you? Yeah, there you go. She's got some threads there from, I'm assuming, this ribbon. So that's super fun. Gorgeous, of course. Where's my other ones? Oh, yes. And then, what else have we got? From my friend Tara, down from the States. She's got this gorgeous card. Oh, this is gorgeous. With the Rooted in Nature stamp set. Look at that. And then you pull off the belly band. Very carefully. Don't wreck it. And then it opens up to this. Right? How cute is that? It's so beautiful. And her ribbon technique is interesting because she has, oh goodness, can't get it back on now. She has put hi Kim, you're my first person to join. So Tara has put in 2 ribbons together. So there's the burlap ribbon and then some, oh my goodness, I don't remember what it's called. Crumb cake something ribbon on top. So it adds a whole like different look. It's like a new ribbon altogether. So that's pretty exciting. I like that. I might have to copy that one. Well, I will have to. And then from my friend Terry, I don't think I should open all these. It's becoming a long video, but I have to because of the reflection. So Kim, I'm just sharing kind of the onstage stuff, all the stuff that we received at Onstage in Orlando, the free stuff we got, and these are the cards from the card swap from our demonstrators. So thanks for joining me. I don't do Facebook Live, so I'm giving it a try. I'm a little nervous, and I think I'm probably going too long, but live and learn, right? I'm learning to be imperfect. I'm trying to not be so scared of looking real. I'm trying to be real, but I also want to present my best, so I'm trying to avoid, anyways, whole new thing. I won't get into it. Okay, so this is from Terry. Oh, again, getting the light in the right place. So you can see the embossing folder background. Just really pretty, beautiful colors. I love this paper color. So pretty. Okay, next one we have from Deb. She's got this Celebrate card with the dancing girl. So pretty. And again, she's got the, I love these clear envelopes, but they do not show well on camera. So I'll have to put all these back in again. So there you can see, oh, thank you, my nails. That's my gel polish. I was really happy. Sometimes I don't like my accent nails, but they worked this time, so I'm very happy. Okay, what else? Yeah, this one. It's just so pretty, right? Simple, pretty, celebrate. Don't you feel like she's dancing with joy? I do. And man, I've got how many more? Four more cards to show you. This one is Desiree's design, our fearless leader. This one it has so many elements to it. It's just gorgeous. So she has the embossed background there, and then all of these pieces. It's just so pretty. Hi Doreen, thanks for joining us. Yeah, there's so many details on this card. It's just gorgeous. And I think of when I see cards with bright colors with the black background, it kind of is a bit of a Desiree signature card, I think. It's very pretty. Okay, oh, and this one is, oh, Heather Cooper and her gorgeous cards. Okay, coffee break. Okay. Hi, Doreen. Okay, this is from Heather. This is gorgeous too. And again, colors, just gorgeous colors. And I can't remember the stamp set's name. I don't have this one. It's very popular right now. So this is that set. It's so beautiful. Oh, Doreen, your battery's dying. So sad. You can watch later. It's really long though. I feel like I'm going too long, but watch later at your leisure when your battery's full. So that's from Heather. That's her swap card. So pretty. Oh, and this one. These are all such beautiful cards. This one is from Sue. Sue is our amazing and inspiring stamper on our team, demonstrator on our team, who is going to Greece because she was so awesome with her work with Stampin' Up! For the last year. So she worked really hard. So this is Sue's card. It is just gorgeous. Just a gorgeous card. Everybody loves that stamp set. I think that's, what is it even called? Was that the waterfront one? I think so. Waterfront stamp set. So pretty. I love how it's so versatile because of the, I mean, this looks very wintry, but you can do all sorts of things. Maybe this isn't the watercolor one. I don't remember. Curses. Curses, I say. I'm so bad at the names, you guys. You'll have to tell me. Tell me the names. Okay, and then my card that I did. is this one. Oh, that's not the one. Where is it? Oh, this one. So I did this one for the team. A note of thanks with the butterfly. Impressions something. Oh, I should write these things down. Anyways, this is my card. So this is glossy cardstock for the butterfly, which just adds a bit of a, again, my lighting's not great, but it adds a bit of an element of professionalism, I guess, to the stamp or the card. So that's pretty cool, I think. Also, if you can see, there's stitching. I don't know if you can see that. There it is. Stitching on the card. It's totally out of focus. Don't focus on my face. There. Stitching. Pretty. Now, okay. Is that all I need to share? Couple more things. But look at this. You have to see this though before I carry on. Look. Oh, what? It opens the wrong way. It opens the wrong way. No! Have you ever done that where you put your beautiful finished card front on your base? And yes, swaps, Sue. I'm sharing all our swaps. I'm just talking about how this card, I put the card front on the base, but the base is backwards. How many times have you done that? I've done it too many times. And in fact, I did it twice on this card. Twice. And it's still like this because I got so mad. I'll show you how to fix that though. Okay, two other things. I feel like I'm missing some stuff. Okay, we also had some make and takes. So this is one of our make and takes. This is the pizza box in the catalog, like so. And this one shows off a stamp set from the Occasions catalog. Very masculine. You can see the awesome paper in the background too. Just a really great masculine stamp set. So that's good. And then another swap we did, or another swap, sorry. Another make and take we did is this one here. So pretty. Oh, it was backwards for you. Hey, maybe that's how I get around it. If it's backwards, yeah, right way around. Anyways, I'll show you how to fix that in a second. That will be the last thing I do for this little video. Very too long video, I think. But anyways, so this shows off the old olive linen thread. Yeah, I'm very excited about that. What else? Oh, and the paper on the background. Yes, right? I love the old olive linen thread. So exciting. And then the paper on the background is in the Occasions catalog. And I don't remember the name. Something about cross stitch. No, the other one. Anyway, you'll see it in the Occasions catalog and you'll love it. You'll love it. It's so beautiful. Basically, they took, had someone do the cross stitch, whatever it is, and then they took photographs of it. So it's just gorgeous paper. Okay, so now I want to show you very quickly for the end of this video how to fix an easy fix for when you put your card fronts on the wrong way if you use dimensionals. Let me just move my big box out of the way. Okay. So it's the wrong way around. Needle point. Thank you, Sue. That was the needle point, not cross stitch. And back up. There we go. So I've put this on the wrong way. So what I do, because it's dimensionals, it makes it really easy to fix. You don't have to just peel it up and end up damaging or wrinkling or anything your paper. You can have a simple fix. So what I do is I take my paper snips and I slide them underneath and I just cut each dimensional. And this card I happen to use a lot of dimensionals on because I'm thorough. So I'm cutting all of the dimensionals until I free the card front. There we go. And then you're left with all these bits. And you can see I did it once before because I did it twice. That's how awesome I am. Okay, but I'm going to do it the right way around, and the first thing I have to do is clean off all of these bits. Now, because I'm so thorough, I have 9 spots to clean off. But what I do, I'm going to get something hard to hold this against. So what I do is I rub with my finger, and it's not going to work. My hands are too cold. And the warmth of your finger will melt the adhesive, and you kind of roll it around. It's not working. Usually it works better. I think my hands are too cold. Anyway, so what you do is you remember when we used rubber cement in elementary school, and you'd let it dry and then you'd roll it into a ball and, I don't know, bounce the balls around. At least I did that. This is sort of similar, except you don't end up with anything fun at the end. You have to just throw it away. But you'll roll it, and eventually it will come off. Now, possibly these have been on for over a week, so maybe it's too late, and that's why they're not coming off as well. But my hands are also very cold. So another option is to take your heat tool and just really, really quickly warm it up and then rub it off. And then you can free your card stock of the adhesive and then start again and put it on the right way when you do it the 3rd time, like me. So that's my little pro tip for you. Then you don't have to wreck your paper. So that's all. I'm gonna call it quits, and I have to go to my hair appointment in a little bit and deliver some stamps. And yeah, so thanks for joining me. I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing some of the fun things that we got, and yeah, I hope to be doing Facebook Live videos maybe Fridays, maybe next Friday. We'll see. So have a good day, guys. Bye. All right. Okay. Hello, my friends. I hope that you can see this well. Welcome to another Facebook Live. This one is all about getting to know your Stamparatus tool, which is what is looking at you on the screen right now. The Stamparatus tool is a positioning tool. It comes with all these things, not the cards, obviously. So I'm going to show you how to use it. Just a few things. I can't show you everything in one video because there are so many things, because it is just an awesome tool and you really should have it. So, you know, go to my online store and get it as soon as you possibly can. So what I'm going to show you is a few things, like some basic stamping with it. I'll show you how to do some oops correction stamping with it. And I've got a couple of tips and tricks, and I'm going to show you how to stamp a circle of repeat images to make a wreath similar to this, or a circle image of sorts. So it's a repeat stamping image. So those are the things I'm going to show you in this video. But first, if we've never met before, I'm Amy Jasper. Hello. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I've been a demonstrator for almost 13 years, coming up in February. I love how easy Stampin' Up! Makes it to create beautiful things with paper, inks, and stamps, which is why I do what I do, because it's fun. Why wouldn't I want to? It's my stress relief too, honestly. So yeah, so let me show you a few things with the Stamparatus. So I'm going to put these plates aside for that. That's for the wreath. So I'll set that aside, and I'll bring in the plates to show you the simple stamping that I did to create this card. This is with the detailed deer stamp. Lovely, lovely. I really like it. I did this card with some 9 to 13-year-old girls at an event, and they loved, first of all, using the Stamparatus because it was so easy, but they also just were happy to make something, and they were thrilled with the results. They loved it. So I was happy about that, happy to share that with them. And I'm trying to follow on my tablet to see if I can watch, see if I can see what I'm doing here, because my camera is too high for me to look at your questions or to respond to you, so I won't be responding. I'm sorry, because I can't see it. I was hoping I'd be able to just follow along on Facebook on my tablet, but maybe I need to find another account to log into. Anyways, moving along. I can't respond to your questions until the end, so I will have a quick look at them at the end and see if anybody comes to check this out. Okay, so simple stamping, that's what we're showing first. So I have my paper that I'm going to stamp on, and I have already put my stamps on my block, or stamps on the Stamparatus plates in the position that I wish them to be in. So I will tuck my pre-cut piece of paper into the corner. And because it's a small piece of paper, I really only need to use one magnet. These magnets are very strong, so you have to be super careful with them. So as much as I'm able to, I just use one. So I'm just going to use that down. See that? Like, so strong. So I'm just going to tuck that down there so that it's not in the way of this stamp. Move my cards out of the way. Okay, so then I have my black Memento ink for the sentiment, and I have Bermuda Bay for my deer. And one little tip I can offer you is when you're inking up your stamps, sometimes because the plates are at an angle, it can feel a little awkward to ink them up, and I don't know, some people worry that they'll press too hard maybe. So if you put a stamp case underneath, then it's easier to ink. I'm going to grab another stamp case here for this side. Then it's easier to ink up your rubber stamps. So I'm using Memento Black for the Happiest Christmas Wishes. And stamp that on there like so. And I have aligned it. I've positioned it to where I want it already. And basically all I did for that was I laid my stamp clean where I wanted it on the card, and then put the plate over to pick up the stamp, and then it was in the position I wanted. And then if I really needed to be sure, because it's a rubber stamp, it's hard to tell sometimes if it is in fact straight. So I used the grid lines. I don't know if you can see them in the video, but I used the grid lines on the Stamparatus plate to make sure that to eyeball it and make sure my sentiment was actually straight on the plate, because if it's straight on the plate, then it will be straight when it flips to the other side. Okay, so then I used Bermuda Bay ink for the reindeer. Oh no, look what happened. I hope you can see that. I can't tell if you can see that because I can't see. It's very frustrating. Oh yes, you can see that. See how it's not stamped, like the head's gone. It's a headless reindeer. Oh, that's terrible. We don't want that. But that's okay. With the Stamparatus, when you have everything positioned and your paper is tucked in the corner, you know that all you have to do is stamp it again. So I could ink it up again, although it's because the ink, in this case, it's because I didn't press there, so maybe I won't bother inking it again. So now I want to put down again. This time I'm going to press firmly up top. Sometimes near the hinge it won't get the same pressure, so I need to use some extra gusto to press that down there. Let's see if that helped me. There. Oh, it's so much better. So that's some simple stamping with the Stamparatus. So then with that, I made this card, Happiest Christmas Wishes. It has the Whisper White cardstock, the Granny Apple Green tucked underneath there. That's on dimensionals, and it's on Bermuda Bay cardstock for the card base. Normally I put a nice piece of white paper inside so that something nice to write on. I didn't do that yet. And then this is the linen thread and some rhinestones to finish it all off. The 9 to 13-year-olds that made this card with me, every single one of them needed help with their linen bow, and I was perfectly fine to do that for them. But in my classes, ladies, you know that I make you tie your bows most of the time. Most of the time. So that is that one. So that's simple stamping. Now I'm going to clean my stamps, and there is one way. So again, I'm making sure this, people lose these because they're so magnetic. Like, it will stick to anything metal that you have kicking around by accident. So here's my, yeah, anyways, it's a magnet. It's going to stick to things, so make sure you know where it goes. Okay, so another little tip I can offer you is, for quick cleaning of your stamps, you can take the chamois. This is a Stampin' Up! Product for cleaning your stamps, particularly useful for the Stamparatus. Mine is very stained and dirty, but it's been used. That's what it's going to look like. I don't know if you can get the stains out. I don't really care. They don't come off once I've rinsed it. So as long as you keep it rinsed in between uses, it won't come off on your hands or on your projects. Not that you're going to put this on your project, so don't do that. Don't put it on your project. Anyways, so I'm going to clean my stamps the quick kind of way. I'm just going to keep the stamps on the plate and clean them. Clean them on my chamois. This one takes a little longer because it's so big. This isn't a perfect clean. The chamois just has water on it, so, but it's good for kind of in between, and it's pretty hard to use. Normally I would use my Stampin' Scrub, but it's pretty hard to get this in the Stampin' Scrub, right? So this is pretty much how I clean my stamps, except sometimes just pressing it's not going to be enough. So then I will actually use a little bit more elbow action and get in the grooves between to really get it clean. But it came pretty clean, actually. I think we're good. So that's your simple stamping. I gave you a couple tips there, and the chamois is another tip. You'll notice that there's the new grid paper. It's very handy too. I don't have to worry about getting ink on my Stamparatus down here, although it is, as long as it's not stays on ink, it will wipe off if it gets on there, because that's just, I don't know, plastic, I guess. Okay, so the next thing I want to just share with you is using the Stamparatus to make a wreath. So what I did to prepare for this is I made a template, and this is going to have to be attached with 2 magnets. So the Stamparatus has a place, 2 spots to store your magnets. Notice that they are separate from each other, very far apart, because if they're closer, they just want to be together so badly. So if they get too close, they will go for it. So you got to be really careful that you don't get too close. They will break. These are earth magnets, which are very strong magnets, but they're also very brittle. So you don't want them to get too close to each other and smash together and break. Sometimes if they break, you have 4 magnets, and that's okay. But doesn't always break so neatly, so you want to make sure that you are careful. Okay, so I've got my 2 magnets on. I've got my template. This template is a 6x6 square, and I just measured halfway and drew a grid line. So this is what it would have looked like. I drew a grid line. Oh, I did forget to do something. Okay. Yeah, so I drew a grid line so that I would know where my center is. Then I cut my first square, which is the one you see. Then after I cut my square, oh, I also drew lines on my square framelit too. So my square framelit has lines on it to show where halfway is as well. So that way when I cut it, I made sure that my lines lined up with my grid lines on my paper. And then after the first square was cut, I turned my framelit and cut so that the grid lines lined up with my corner bits here, my corner of my square framelit, making sure that this was all equal space as well. So then I ended up with this sort of star pattern, which is what we're going to use as our base. Now I have to apologize because I didn't cut a new square. I only cut this one, so I'm going to use this one. It's going to have this funny grid pattern, but it'll give the idea still of how I did this, how this technique works. So for this one I used the Rooted in Nature clear mount stamp, and we're just going to use this one right here, this leafy pattern. So I have it here, and I've already mounted it where I want it on the block. And I'm just going to double check that I have it the way I want it. Yes. Okay. So now another little tip with your Stamparatus is that a lot of people find that the Stampin' Spots help or make inking up easier, especially when you have a smaller stamp like this, or yeah, a smaller stamp like this one, because sometimes what happens is when you use a big ink pad, you end up, your pressure is off or whatever, and you end up with ink all over your clear plate, and that's not a big deal. It wipes off easily, but it's messy and it's frustrating. So you can get Stampin' Spots. These ones come in the Paper Pumpkin kits that I get every month. If you like Paper Pumpkin and you like the idea of having a little crafting kit come to your door every month, then make sure you go to paperpumpkin.com and subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, because that's awesome. But also, if you don't have a Paper Pumpkin subscription, you can order uninked Stampin' Spots so that you can use your re-inkers. Oh, there's an old one. First one I grabbed. Very old and yucky. You can use your re-inkers to ink whatever color you want on your blank, uninked Stampin' Spot. So, but I'm going to use this Paper Pumpkin one that I have from my last Paper Pumpkin kit that I showed you. What? I showed you that last week, didn't I? Anyways, so what we're going to do is we're going to ink up our leaf like so, and then we are going to stamp it. I'm just going to stamp it one time like that, right? And then I'm going to rotate my paper a quarter turn, so to the next slot. It's important to pay attention to that. And then I'm going to flip this and stamp it without inking it again, you'll notice, because I want some variation in my wreath. Pardon my dog, he's barking at somebody on the street, I'm sure. I don't know, I assume you can hear him because he's very loud, and my door is open, so that doesn't help. now I'm inking it again. Stamping. And then I quarter turn again. So we just keep going around. And this time I'm not inking it. So every time I'm alternating. Ink, not ink, ink, not ink. Then, whoops, turn it again. Inking it up. Stamping and inking. It's so easy, you guys. And as you go along, it certainly gets faster. But imagine, okay, this one I don't want to ink. Imagine how quick it is to make your cards, especially if you're making a whole bunch at once, like Christmas cards, for example. It's so much faster when you have everything set up ahead of time in your Stamparatus. All right, one more uninked one. There we go. Look at that. Okay, except for except for the grid with my pen. That's a good wreath, right? Very nice. I think it turned out good. Okay, so I'm going to put my inks away. Always, always, always put your ink lids back on. I'm going to clean my stamp again. This time, I'm just going to do it this way. When you clean your stamps with the chamois, just be aware that you might end up getting ink on your hand. If it has fresh ink on it. If it's rinsed, you won't get any ink on you. So there we go, that's clean. One option is to always use one side so that one side is clean, and then you have a gripping, kind of a handhold side. That could be very helpful. Wish I had thought of that before. All right, what else did I want to share with you? Oh, now I don't know, let me think here. I have, well, I was going to show you how you use photopolymer stamps versus using rubber stamps on here, but I don't have my matte part. I don't know where it went. My craft room is a disaster, absolute wreck. So I don't even want to try to find it. So we'll just not do that right now. Okay, so that is all. So using the wreath, or using this method, I created this wreath card. It has also the berries, and I strategically placed the berries to cover up kind of these stem bits. It actually doesn't look too bad, but the stem bits, they bothered me a little bit. So I just used the dots from, I don't even know what stamp set that's from. Hopefully it's from the same one. Anyways, I can't remember. I'm not that organized. I'm imperfect, and that's okay. Okay, so yeah, so I did those in the using the same method. I did the berries as well, and then those are heat embossed with gold embossing powder. You can see there. This is the Farmhouse Designer Series paper, and yeah, all the things. I can't remember the names of anything today. This stamp set is awesome. Oh, that's from the house stamp. Anyways, maybe I'll post the names of everything at the end of the video, because I didn't write them down and I don't have that good of a memory, because, you know, I can't keep all those things in my head. Yeah, so thank you for joining me for my Facebook Live video today. I'm going to be doing Facebook Live videos every Friday at 11 in the morning, as long as I'm able to. So I hope that you will remember that and join me next time. And yeah, maybe I'll share some more Stamparatus things next time too, because there's just so many more things that you can do with it, and it's just an awesome tool. And honestly, If you don't have one already, you should get one if you stamp at all, because it's just such a great tool. So thanks for joining me here at Inking on the Fly, and I hope that you will join me again next time. Thanks, guys. Hi, guys. Welcome to Inking on the Fly. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make an adorable 2 by 2 inch self-closing treat box. So it closes up with this fancy, kind of origami clothes like that. So that's what we're making today. But first, if we've never met before, my name is Amy Jasper. I have been stamping with paper and ink and crafting for all my life, really. But I have been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for 13 years. I just had my Stampiversary at the end of February, my 13-year Stampiversary as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. That's pretty cool. 13 years is pretty much a long time, and I think makes me, I don't know, good at what I'm doing, I guess. Anyways, I'm branching out a little more, getting more videos out. You will start to see some things on YouTube soon. So exciting. Yeah, so make sure you keep your eyes posted for, keep your eyes peeled for YouTube videos coming up. Whoa, whoa, so exciting. Okay, so treat box. This is, here's a few that I made. So the one we're going to make is going to be like this. It has sort of an insert lid. So it's two pieces. The lid is separate from the box. This is another one that I made. It's kind of my template, my very first one. So you can see it seals closed, but then you can pop it open. Oops. To get the contents, so you don't have to rip open the box. Very awesome, right? I think so. And this one is one that we made in my class last week. This is not two pieces. This is just one piece, and then it's been decorated. So again, self-sealing lid. We have the Botanical Butterfly Designer Series paper around this one, which is a celebration item that you can earn for free just by spending $60 with Stampin' Up! Right now until the end of March. So make sure you don't miss out on that. There are other things like this ribbon that were available as a free item as well, but sadly the ribbon was too popular, folks, so it has been it's not available anymore. It's no longer available, so that's sad. So if you want to be sure that you don't miss out on Celebration products, make sure you go and have a look. Celebration only goes until the end of March. So here's the original brochure. We have had a second release of products available, also a third release of products available just recently, and they have some coordinating dies that go along with some of the stamp sets in here. So that is pretty exciting, and you'll want to go onto my online store to have a look at those things, see what, maybe there's something that strikes your fancy and that you would like to order in order to get some free stuff. What else can I tell you before we start? I'll chat along the way. How about that? Okay. So first, I'm going to give you my quick measurements. I found this a tutorial for this online, but it was not in English. I believe it may have been German. I do not know German, so I can't be sure. It could have been, I don't know, another German-like language. So I had to convert the measurements because they were all in metric. And even though I am Canadian, I'm used to measuring in inches. I'm not used to measuring in centimeters at all, but it's odd because once I get into larger measurements like meters, I use meters, not yards, and kilometers instead of miles. So a little mixed up. That probably has something to do with my connection to being a part of a British colony and being so close to the United States and having that influence too. So little bit of a mix. That's me and a lot of people I know. Okay, so smaller measurements I use inches. So I had to convert, plus I made it bigger. The one in the video was small, so I adjusted my measurements a little bit to make it a larger box. So if you want the measurements, if you want to write them down, I have them here for you. So the top part, which is this, this is in the Botanical Butterflies Designer Series paper. That is this one here. I don't know, let's get this nice and close for you. So you can see there, it's a 2-inch box. So you've got a piece of paper that's 9 by 3 inches. And then you're going to score at 2 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches, and 8 inches. And then here you've got a 1-inch section and a 2-inch section. So you can score 2 inches from the bottom on that one. And then the other piece, pardon all the scribbles, I forgot part of it when I was jotting this down from memory. So this one gets a little complicated. This one is the outside piece. So it's 3 layers, 3 sections wide, because in order to have a really nice finished edge here, it's folded inside of itself. So that gives you a really nice finished edge. So there's, I'll show you how that works when we get to that point. But you can see here we've got some weird measurements. In order for this to fit around neatly, I had to make each section 1/16 of an inch bigger. So that's fun for all of you who struggle with measurements, but I'll show you how that works when I use my scoring tool. So we have this paper is 9 by 6 inches, and then we have the 2 1/16, 4 1/8, 6 3/16, and 8 1/4 score marks. And then these ones I just did 2 inches on each because it's less crucial to have it the right measurement, although the bottom probably should be 2 1/16. Anyways, I don't remember if I did that on this box or not. We'll see what happens when I do 2-inch for that. Yeah. Okay, so let's get started. I have my score. I have to grab it here. I have my Simply Scored scoring tool here, and we've got the stylus to go along with it. Now this paper, I've chose to try using the Share What You Love Designer Series paper. So this is just a piece of that. It's so pretty though, right? And I like this paper because it's a little heavier weight than a lot of the other DSP Designer Series papers that Stampin' Up! Has. So it gives a nice sturdy finish to boxes. In this case, it will be the lid. So, yeah. So then I'm going to do my scoring, and I'm going to refer to my sheet because I'll do it wrong because I'll get all kerfuffled. But I'm going to use my scoring tool. So we are going to do 2 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches, and 8 inches, like that. And then we're going to make a little notch. Now the notch is going to be part of our fancy folding at the top here. You can see I've got these those represent scoring marks right there. So we're going to do a notch halfway between each of our long scoring bits here. So just a little notch there to give us a guide for where we're going to do our scoring on the angle. So I'm going to have a notch at 1 inch, 3 inch, 5, and 7, like that. Okay. So with some patterned paper, it can be a little difficult to see. Oh, I haven't finished scoring. So sorry. Let's get this back here again. Finish what you started. Okay. Okay, so I did this score, or sorry, I did these, no, what did I do? I did these scores, and I did my notches, but now I have to do this score line across. So I'm going to, and the diagonal score lines I have to do too. I got so excited to share with you this thing, and I jumped to the end. Okay, so yes, so I'm going to score this at 2 inches all the way. And now I want to score at these, I want to do these angles. So what I'm going to do is find, don't know how well you'll be able to see. I'm going to find the intersection where my 2 score lines line up. And I'm going to put, it's hard to see because the flowers are right in the same spot. So I'm just going to put my stylus on that point where those 2 score lines intersect. And then I'm going to twist my paper. So my stylus is in one of the grooves right now, so it's not moving. Pardon my shaking camera though. So then I'm going to line up my stylus with the notch that I made, being careful to make sure that I'm following the right groove. I don't want to start and end up in the wrong place. So I have to really watch, make sure that my points are lining up. There we go, like so. Does that make sense? And then I'm going to keep going. I'm going to do all the ones that are the same angle to start with. This one. And I hope that's in the right spot. I can't see very well. Guys, if you like my videos, please take a moment to leave a comment or to click that little like icon, or a heart, or a wow face. I'd love a wow face. Wow faces are exciting. What's happening? My dog is barking upstairs. Oh, see, I went off track. Dang it. This one. There we go. Don't do that. This is taking a while. Let's see. Okay, that one. And this one. So yeah, make sure that, or you know, take a moment, leave a comment on this video. Let me know what you think of this process. And you know what? I would love to know what your guys' favorite Celebration product is, whether it's from the original Celebration release, or if it is the new release, or just recent, or yeah, just, you know, write in the comments on this video and let me know. I'm curious. I don't even know what my favorite is, to be honest. Maybe it's the paper. I've been using the designer series paper a lot. I really like the black and white side of the botanical butterfly designer series paper. So I'm using that one a lot. I think I also really like the By the Bay stamp set. Okay, so I've done all my scoring on this piece. Of course, there's the other piece to do yet. So now I'm going to just take a moment to do some folding. I'm going to fold it that that way. And one more of those. And then this way. So I really like using the bone folder for folding. It just gives me a nice crisp edge every time. You can't go wrong with a nice crisp edge. Okay, so now I'm folding these bits. I'm just going to give them, which way do I need to fold these? I need to fold them this way. There we go. So one way to do this is to fold them together like that to give you a nice fold. Getting into the corners. Oop, that one doesn't want to. Oh, behave. Does anybody else talk to their paper? Yeah, I do. That one doesn't want to fold as nicely. That is because I am imperfect and my score lines are not perfect. But you know what? It's handmade. This is not a factory. It cannot be perfect. Even factories can't make it perfect anyways. Okay. Oh, that was going the wrong way. There we go. Okay, so there we've got all our folds. Now to put this together, we're going to, it's obviously, it has no bottom, but we're going to use the Tumble Multi-Purpose Monoliquid Glue. That is a mouthful. And I'm going to just put adhesive on this rectangle, top to bottom. Oh, this is still sticky. Oh, do you remember? Oh, I forgot about that. It's sticky because of my daughter using glitter and glue. But, you know, you can't blame her. She's having a good time. I don't want to stop her from being creative. I'll just have to teach her how to use my stuff properly. Okay, and then I can fold this over and it will meet up. And there's my box. Now, this one is 2 layers thick, so I'm just going to give it a little work to get it folding there. And then the rest folds in. And I can see how well it's closing. Pretty good. Look at that. It closed a little bit better than my other one. This one has this weird gap. I'm not really sure what happened there. Maybe that one has it too, but it's harder to see. So there, yeah. Cool. Okay, so that's the top or inside, whichever you want to say. And then we'll do the bottom. I've chosen to use Tranquil Tide cardstock because it coordinates nicely with some of the colors in my designer series paper. So this one, we get the score tool out again. And this one, I have to remember my measurements, and I'll show you my little trick because we need to do 2 1/16 on here. And if you notice, there are no 1/16 options. There are 1/8 of an inch options only. 1/8, you know, 1/4. There's no 1/16. That's not an option. So we have to be a little creative. So we want 2 1/16, but we don't have it. So we're going to go up 1 to 2 1/8. But we're going to shift our paper over just a half mark right? So we're a half mark over, and then we can use the 2 1/8 groove, knowing that it's actually measuring at 2 1/16. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's the weird measurement. Then we can just push it over again. So you can see it's now at the 2. It's pretty close, not perfect. It's almost halfway in between there. And then the next one, we're going to measure at 4 1/8, so that's easy. The next one is 6 3/16. Again, we don't have a 3/16 mark. So we're going to jump over to 6 1/4. Again, move our paper over just a smidge. And we know that that is 6 3/16. And then we can shove it back again into all the way to the edge, and we're going to do 8 1/4. Like that. Okay, and then this one we can turn sideways, and we're just going to do 2 inch. Now let's start with a 2. Oh, I don't know if I should do that. 2 1/16. Let's just do 2, and then I can be the guinea pig and let you know. We can see how it works out on the bottom of our paper. It should be fine. 1/16 isn't a big difference. Okay, so 2 for that measurement. So that's scored, ready to go. Okay, so now we have this little grid pattern happening. We're going to now cut off parts of our stuff here. So we're going to cut this way and this way. Then we are going to trim this off and this off. We're going to cut up each of these strips, and we're going to cut down on these strips. This is our part that's going to fold inside. So when we cut this down, we're going to cut it at a little bit of an angle. So I will get my Stampin' Up! Paper snips and start a trimming. Actually, I'm going to trim that at a wee bit of an angle, because when it folds inside, it'll just fit a little more snugly, and we won't see that part on the inside because it'll be completely hidden. Okay, so for the bottom part, this is going to be the bottom of the box. We're cutting that straight. So cutting this off, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to be hidden inside your box. You'll see it when you look inside the box, you would see these cuts, but people are going to be too busy worrying about what's in the box. They're not going to be worrying about how tidy the inside of your box is. I don't know, maybe they will. Okay, and then these, like I said, are going to be at an angle. Oops. Like that. Does that make sense? That way everything will be tidy. So these kind of boxes, you can make them different sizes, right? I chose this size. I just like that it shows off the paper. It's easy to decorate when it's a bit bigger. But this one, so this box is the 2-inch box. This box that we made at my class, it's 1 3/4 inch. And then I have this itty bitty baby box, and this is 1.5 inches. So you can see, you can make them any size. They're kind of cute. They almost look stackable, don't they? You could do all sorts of fun things. yeah, so all you have to do is adjust your measurements, right? So then you want, if you're doing a 1.5 inch box, then you're going to make this, you're going to adjust the length and the width accordingly so that it's the 1.5 inch squares. And then this is going to have to be just about like half of 1.5 inches. What is that? I don't even know. Too much maths. Yeah, and then make the adjustments here. Now for the casing, if you do adjust your size, you still will want that 1/16 additional amount for that box cover, for the bottom of the box. And if you do end up on YouTube with me, you can find, I'll be showing some more options with these boxes on my YouTube video in the next couple of weeks. I'm not sure which week it will fall on, but it will be there in a couple weeks. And okay, so back to the box. Okay, so we have everything's cut. We're going to do our folding with my strangely sticky bone folder. Oh, I have another bone folder somewhere, but I guess I don't care enough to bother. Okay, all of this is going to be folded and scored so it's nice and tidy. So these pieces, they're folding inside. So those fold up, these also fold up. This is the bottom of your box. Cody, are you watching? I love that you come and visit me sometimes. Okay, we're going to add our liquid glue on these flaps for the inside. Fold those babies down. Whoops. Like that. Make sure they are. So now you can see the benefit of having that little cut. It just gives the option for things to fold up a little more tidily. Okay, so then we have our self-closing top, and we need to put them together. So I'm going to just do a quick check to make sure my measurements are right, because, you know, math. Look, it's going to be so pretty. Okay, and then putting my liquid glue on my spots. Okay, this part gets a little tricky because cut finger and dexterity. Okay, we're going to start with the flap end. And I'm going to find my other seam and have my seams meet up, because then I have all my seams in one place. And that way it can sort of be at the back. So yeah, you can see how this is just a little tricky to get it all lined up. Yeah. So the fun thing about this is I can have this go up a little more if I want my box to be a little taller and have a little more of my decorative paper showing, like that. Oh, this finger, I tell you, I'll be so happy when it doesn't require a Band-Aid anymore. I've been wearing a regular Band-Aid on this finger, but I don't know, regular Band-Aids get dirty and ugly, and I thought you guys might appreciate not having to look at that. So, okay, so now I can use put some pressure on, especially where my seam is. Where's my seam? There it is. Make sure that adhesive really adheres well. to the paper so that I don't have any weird things happening. Okay. Then we can do our bottom. This is where that 2-inch thing comes into play. Oh, look at that. I think it'll work just fine. Okay, so I will attach the bottom. Okay, now the trick to getting that bottom adhered really well is open your top up, and you can use the bottom of your glue bottle to press those papers together like so. And then we have dun, 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 the beginnings of awesomeness. How fun is that? Okay, I haven't made one with these colors yet, so this is fun. Okay, so then we need to, what do we need to do next? We need to decorate it. Hello. Okay, we have paper, we have a punch somewhere. Really, Amy, where did you put the punch? Oh, here it is. So the 1 3/8 scallop circle punch is going to be our friend, as well as the 1 3/4 inch circle punch, which I already punched out my black circle. And then we're going to use some of the Whisper White 5/8 of an inch polka dot tool ribbon. Let's find our front again. We want there. So there's our seam. So that's going to be at the back. And I'm going to use some glue dots to stick my tool on here. I'm not sure that I like the tool as much on this color as I did on the Coastal Cabana paper. This paper, the tool, I quite liked. I'm not sure. Might be, well, we'll see. We will see, because you don't know. You just don't know until it's done. Well, sometimes you know. Okay, and then we've got our solid black baker's twine. And honestly, baker's twine, black or white, are absolute staples for me with my crafting projects. Oh, the dexterity not having, there we go. Yay, success. Oh, what is happening? There we go. I don't know what end is up. Oh my goodness, that was harder than it should have been. The tool is kind of sticky, so things don't want to slide where they're supposed to be. Plus, yeah, me. The me element. The imperfect me. You know, I'm starting to become a little more proud of my imperfections, because that's what makes me unique. You don't have the same imperfections and qualities as I do. They're mine. Okay. This is going to adhere directly to my box. Oh, you know what? I'm going to pop it underneath this. I think that's what I did with the other one. Carefully, because I don't want my glue to end up in the wrong place. Because as you all know, with Tombow liquid glue, when it dries sticky. So if you get it on anything that you don't want it on, it will be sticky for life. Life, I tell you. Okay. I don't know what's happening with that ribbon. There we go. Okay. Then, my friends, we're done with you. We are now going to use the stamp. So I used this cute little stamp there. It's from the Stitched All Around Clear Mount stamp set. So there's a few cute options there. We're going to be using this one. And I am going to color this stamp with the Stampin' Up! Stampin' Write markers from Stampin' Up! So I have Tranquil Tide and Mint Macaron. And I don't have a plan, so we're just going to go for it. I think I'll do Mint Macaron where I did the Bermuda Bay on this one. So, Mint Macaron, I should have done this before so that you don't have to watch me color. I don't know about you, but I don't know, I guess watching somebody color can be relaxing. I don't know. So I'm using Mint Macaron on the stamp very carefully because I want to preserve the brush tip of my marker, because the brush tip can get damaged, and then it isn't very brush tippy anymore. It's just sort of brush mashy. That's a thing. I'm going to use Tranquil Tide on, I'm going to have to lift this up so I can see a bit better. Maybe you can see better too. Tranquil Tide on the leafy bits. And I always, you know, you can get some of your ink can end up in the wrong place when you do this, especially when it's so detailed like this one. But I don't mind that so much. It just gives a bit of a creative flair. Again, I am not a machine. I am an imperfect person, and that's going to reflect in my projects. So that's just part of me. And I think that's the beauty of hand making anything, is that it becomes unique to you because of your imperfections and your quirks and your way of doing things. So I inked that, as you saw. I won't stamp it just as is because some of that has dried. So what I'm going to be doing is huffing with my breath on the rubber, and that will moisten the ink, reconstitute it, if you will. So pardon my huffing here. Like that. Stamp it on my Whisper White paper. I think that's quite pretty. So the thank you, as you can see, is not very pronounced because I actually didn't even color it. So I think that's left over from something else, or I tapped it by accident, which could very well be what happened. But that's okay because I stamped it on purpose on another piece of paper with basic black, not basic black, tuxedo black Memento ink. And we're going to make this little tag. I've flagged one end already. I'll flag the other end with you as my witness. So this is the 1 3/8 inch scallop. Hi, Sue. Oh, thanks for watching. You can heckle all you like. Okay, so I'm punching this out. It fits beautifully. I'm trying to line up. I don't really need to line anything up, just the circle, just the edges. There we go. All right, and then I will flag the other side with my paper snips. I like flagging. You've probably noticed that if you've watched any of my videos. Oh yes, my finger. It's doing okay, Sue. It's not very pretty, and it mostly is getting in my way, to be honest. I can't use the tip very well. Well, I can't use the tip at all. I have a feeling I'm not going to have any feeling in my finger for quite a while. And that's probably going to be annoying. But, you know, at least I have a finger. I didn't cut off my entire finger. It still is on my hand, and that makes me glad. There are things in the world to be happy about, and that is mine. I have a finger. It doesn't do me any good right now, but I have one. All right, dimensionals. I trimmed my mini dimensionals in half so that they can fit behind this teeny tiny strip. And we can pop that baby on there, make sure it's pseudo straight. See? How fun is that? Okay. This one is also going to have dimensionals because I'm a dimensional freak. I know that Sue is a dimensional freak too. So we can be freaks together. I can only read part of what you've written. Your father had half a finger. He told us that you bit it off. That would have been nasty. That's funny. I had an uncle who had a few of his fingers missing, and he was still able to play he played the organ, and he played it beautifully with limited fingers, limited digits. So there we go. Look at that. I don't know. Which one do you like better? I think I like this one better. I think maybe my color scheme is a little bit better on that one. What do you think, Sue? Which color scheme do you prefer? So this one's Tranquil Tide with the Share What You Love Designer Series paper on the top. And this one is Coastal Cabana with the Botanical Butterfly Designer Series paper from Celebration on the top. So there we go. You like the lighter one? All right. Huh. I don't know. It's definitely, it has some cheer to it, I think, the lighter one, right? I think I like the color coordination on the darker one, but the lighter one is cheerful. So yeah, so this is that origami kind of top. Like that. Put your treats in, seal the box, and then the box can be kept on somebody's nightstand if they like. So where are my treats? I have some with treats. I want to eat them now. Yes. You know, everybody needs a hug now and then. So here's a hug. Have a hug. Take it. Take it. I'm going to eat it right in front of you. Well, not in front of you because you can't see me, which is a good thing because I am wearing my pajamas and I have not showered. It's the beauty of television, my friends. So that's all. I hope that you learned something new and that you can do this same technique. Give it a try at home. Here's those measurements again. This will get posted eventually on my blog. I can't be for sure when. Perhaps a week from Monday. Anyway, we'll see. All right, folks, have a great afternoon, and I will hopefully see you back here for another Facebook Friday live video here at Inking on the Fly. Bye, Sue. Bye, everybody. Have a good one. Hey, friends. I am, sorry, not quite ready to actually start my video. That's not very good, is it? Let me just put on my microphone for one thing so that you can hear me better. Give me 1 second here. There, hopefully you can hear me well, because that helps, right? Oops. Okay. Hello. Thanks for joining me for another Facebook Live video with Inking on the Fly. I wanted to show you today how to do a reverse image technique using the Stamparatus, which I have here. It's a Stampin' Up! Product that allows for positioning of stamps, which is awesome, super helpful. So if we've never met before, my name is Amy Jasper. I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for about 13 years and still loving it, still enjoying finding new ways to be creative and to be able to show you guys how to use the new products and new ways that I've learned to be creative. So that's what we're doing today. We've got the reverse technique. For this technique, I'm going to be using the So Hoppy Together Cling Mount stamp. We're going to use this little guy here. Cute little guy with his glasses. He's so cute. And we're also going to use the Banners for You stamp set. We're particularly using one of the banners, so that's fun. I should also mention that the So Hoppy Together stamp set is one of the stamp sets that you can earn for free if you order $60 worth of product until March 31st. So anytime between now and then, if you order $60 worth of product, you can get this cute, adorable stamp set for free. And who does not like free stuff? Seriously. Anybody out there that doesn't like free stuff? I doubt it very much. Okay, sometimes there's a free item that you just give away, but it's still exciting to get it, right? It's still exciting to get a free thing. Okay, so let's begin. We have a piece of crumb cake cardstock here. I've already put my cling mount dude on my plate, Stamparatus plate. I'm not going to use the extra plate or the foam mat. The foam mat is good for when you're using photopolymer stamps, because photopolymer stamps, like this one, don't have any foam on them, so they're have less loft. they're a narrower stamp, and they don't have that extra give to give a good impression. So the foam mat helps not only to give the loft that you need so that the stamp will make contact with your paper well, but also it's got that sponginess that you need to get a good impression with your images. So I'm going to set that aside. I want to also point out that when you add comments or likes or a heart or anything like that, when you interact with my posts, my videos or my posts, it helps me in my business to feel encouraged, of course, for one thing, and I love that. I love to be encouraged. Oh, I need to move this. Dag nabbit. So I positioned this guy where he is when I had a taller piece of paper. So I'm going to have to reposition him. So because it's cling mount, sorry, I will complete my previous thought in a moment. Because he's cling mount, I have to be careful taking him off
of the plate. Cling mount stamps, they do exactly that. They cling to your blocks. So when I remove him from the block, I can't just grab him and peel him off. I have to actually get underneath with my fingernail, preferably, and make sure that I have the sticker underneath first and then grab. If I grabbed him, the sticker would probably stay stuck and I would be ripping foam, and I don't want to rip the foam. So I'm going to lift him up gently. I'm going to pay attention to his positioning so that I can reposition him down a little bit, and hopefully I get it right. That feels good. I'll go there. Okay, there, fixed. Okay. So first I'm going to stamp my little dude over here, and I'm going to finish that thought that I didn't finish. Yeah, so I was saying that make sure you leave a comment or a like or something so that I can be encouraged, but also so that Facebook recognizes that my videos are valuable to people, and Facebook will start showing it to more people. So it will show up on their feed more often. So I hope that you will just take a minute, just put in a comment and let me know what you think of the technique and ideas of what you like about it, what you like about the stamp set, just anything. Comment, even where you're from. Tell me where you're watching from. If you're in Canada or anywhere else, I would love to hear where you're watching from. So you can even message me with that on the comments. Okay, so I've stamped the one that is the right way. Now I'm going to show you the reflection or the reverse image. So I've got, here is the silicone craft sheet, which is great for when you're gluing things. Mine's a little bit shiny and I need to clean it, but it's got a kind of a sheen of glue on it. But that's not going to affect our stamping today. So it is often used for gluing because the glue, you can stick a dollop of adhesive on here, and when it's dry it will just peel off. You know, instead of putting it on paper and then it rips the paper. That's no fun. So this is just it's a very useful mat, but we're also going to use it like kind of like a rubber stamp pad or stamp pad, a rubber stamp, a flat rubber stamp. So I'm inking. I used the Tuxedo Black Memento ink. I inked up my stamp and I'm stamping it on the silicone craft mat. So you can see the little guy there. And I'm going to do that again just to make sure I have good coverage and a nice wet image. And I can stamp him twice because of this amazing positioning tool. So there, I've stamped him twice. So it's pretty inky. Now I'm going to put this guy, I'm going to flip this over and put him in the corner, being careful not to touch this before it lays down. I don't want to, so I'm tucking it in the corner right where my, to mirror the position it was in before. So before it was tucked in the corner, but of course facing up. Using my earth magnet, you'll notice I'm only using one magnet. It comes with 2 magnets, but I only use one unless I need to, just because I'm scared that they'll smuck together because they're such a powerful magnet. And I've heard too many stories of people who struggle with the magnets smashing together. When they get about 6 inches apart, they attract each other. They want to be together. So you'll notice I stamped it again. It wasn't to get a stamped image. It was instead to press evenly against the image that I stamped on the Stamparatus. So now you see I have a reversed image, and it's not as good of a quality, but once I color it, you're not going to see that variation in the quality of the image. I am going to try stamping it just one more time, see if I can get a little bit more a little bit more definition. I don't think I need a whole lot more. So I'm going to stamp on my mat again. And again, just to, again, get more ink on there. And again, because it's the Stamparatus, I can trust, as long as I don't have any human error in place, I can trust that I'm going to lay this in the same position. Pardon the camera shake there. The same position. Press this over top so that the ink underneath will connect with the paper. And again, in the same position, because this is going to give the outline right over top of where that ink is in place. So that helps get that ink onto the other side, transferring from the Stamparatus or from the silicone craft mat. So again, you can see that this image, it's definitely a reverse, but it's not quite as crisp. But that's okay because we're going to color it, and the coloring will hide any little imperfections on there. Okay, let's set this aside. Peeling, actually I'm not going to peel him off until I clean him. So this is the chamois Stamparatus, or the Stampin' Up! Chamois for cleaning stamps. You can see it's well used. This is not coming off on my hands at all. I did clean it just recently under warm water. Most of the ink, or a fair bit of ink, comes out of it, but this is just stained. So I'm just going to clean him, clean my, it's maybe not wet enough, but there we go. Clean off my silicone craft mat. I can even put this in here and just flip that over and give that a good squishing in to the chamois. Give that a good clean. And then I can take this little guy off and put him away. I'm trying to keep my room clean. I'm slowly getting it clean and organized again. Oh. Does anybody else have a messy craft room? If you have a messy craft room, I want you to click on the heart at the bottom of the video down, well, down here somewhere. Click on the heart and tell me how messy, I want to see how many of you have a messy craft room like me. Okay, I'm just going to put this little guy away. So with the cling mount stamps, I always make sure that, or I'm cautious, I guess, that when I return them to, oops, go in there. I haven't mounted them all yet. Those are my stickers ready to go. But I always make sure that they aren't in contact with the case. So you'll see that I'm not pushing them all the way in into their slots here in the die cut. Just because I'm a little nervous that they'll cling too well and I'll have a hard time getting them out of there. So this way I have an easy way to just grab them and go. Okay, so finished product. Well, let's take a moment and I'll show you some coloring that I did. So I used Granny Apple Green, light and dark. I used Crumb Cake, light and dark. Soft Sea Foam I used on another element, which I'll show you in a minute, and the Color Lifter. So I started with the light Granny Apple Green, and I colored all over. And you don't need to see all my coloring, but I did all over, did his legs too. Oops. Then I used the dark Granny Apple Green. I did all the kind of the shading, the outside edge, left his belly kind of on the pale side. And then I used the Color Lifter, and I just did a little where I wanted a little emphasis of highlighter, especially on his belly there. I just did a little Color Lifter in there. And then I used the Crumb Cake Light because this is Crumb Cake cardstock. I wanted to just add a little bit of definition around my frog. So I just did an outline, and it blends because it's crumb cake on crumb cake. It blends quite well once it dries into the background. And then I used the dark crumb cake to make a shading on so that he's actually standing on something. Like so. And then I used the light crumb cake just to blend that out a bit. Like that. So then I have something, he's standing on something and all is well. Okay, let's show you the final product. Here we have this card, You Amaze Me. So you can see I put the whole piece on basic black cardstock. I added the black baker's twine. And then the You Amaze Me. That's what I used the soft seafoam blends markers for. So I colored the edges with the dark soft seafoam and blended it in so it has just a little bit of variation of color in there like that. And the You Amaze Me. And I haven't done the inside of my card, but when I do, I'm going to add You Can Do Anything on the inside. Because I think this is sort of an accomplishment card or an encouragement card. So that's what I don't know. I was thinking of my son when I made it. It's a masculine card, so and it's cute and simple, and yeah, I'm quite happy with this. So that's your reverse image technique or mirror image technique using the Stamparatus tool. If you like any of these products or are interested in any of these products, just go to my Facebook page and click on the Shop Now option and check it out. See what else is on there that you would like to maybe get creative with. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Make sure you take advantage of Celebration by going to my store to shop for more awesome products. And remember, if you like my videos, make sure you follow my Facebook page and always leave a comment or response while you're watching. And yeah, I'll see you next Facebook Live on Fridays at 11. As often as I'm able, I will be here. All right, guys, have a great crafty day. My phone said something about low network. So it says live in the corner, so I'm going to assume I'm live. Hi. So yeah, welcome to another Facebook Live video here on Inking on the Fly. Today I wanted to share with you some creative use of the layering circle frameless dies. So these little guys. You get way more than this, and for whatever reason I don't have it with me at the moment, the whole set, but I do have a catalog. So let's grab the catalog and I will tell you or show you what all is included in the layering circles dies. So here they are, right here. So you can see that they include some, I don't want to zoom in, they include some scalloped edges and just solid circles. So we're going to be using these smooth solid circles. And I've chosen the ones that will actually stack nicely so that I have a set that stack inside each other. There are a few more of those circles available in the set, but these ones stack in the way that I want them to stack. So how am I going to show you this? We're going to be featuring the Colorful Seasons stamp set from Stampin' Up. The layering circles framelets, as well as the seasonal layers thinlets. So those are all the Big Shot materials that we need, including our Big Shot, of course, because can't use these without a die cutting machine. Okay, so let's get on with it. Before I carry on, I should introduce myself. My name is Amy Jasper. I have been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for over 13 years now, and I'm still loving it and still enjoying sharing with everybody, and yeah, so that's me. But let's get on with this very cool technique and very easy, really. So I'm not going to show you. Okay, let me show you the card that I did before, because you have seen it. If you follow me on Facebook, you would have seen it posted on Facebook. So this is using the So Hoppy Together stamp, which is no longer available, sad face, because it was a celebration stamp set. So if you were lucky enough to purchase, or sorry, to get it for free with a purchase, then you can create this card as well using this stamp. I think it goes really well with this card design. So for this card, I have Pacific Point as my card base. I have Coastal Cabana in the background here, Flirty Flamingo, Mango Melody, I believe. Mango Melody? Yes. And Pineapple Punch and Lemon Lime Twist, which sadly will be retiring at the end of May. So don't miss out on that one. I love Lemon Lime Twist. And then I've stamped the You Can Do Anything in the Rich Raspberry ink. This little guy I colored using the blends markers. I used the Granny Apple Green light and dark blends, and I used the Smoky Slate light and dark blends markers. But I also added a little bit of the watercolor pencils. So I used white watercolor pencil to brighten up his eyes, and I used a little bit of white on the tire, and I used a bit of the black on the tire and bits and pieces here and for the shadow, just so I could blend it out a little bit. Because it's watercolor watercolor pencils, it means you can blend them out a little bit and get a little more shading. The blends are more for a good solid coloring with an even coloring. So that's what I started with, and for the showing you how I did this today, I wanted to do a new card with products that are available now from Stampin' Up. So I'm going to set this aside. And for the card today, we are going to start with some different colors. I have Lemon Lime Twist for my base. I still have the Coastal Cabana because I love it. It's just so bright and cheerful. And I think that's one of the reasons I really like these cards, is because they're bright and cheerful colors. You could absolutely do this technique with any color combination that you choose. I just really like the bright colors. And then we've got a little bit of Sahara sand to throw into the mix, and then our circles that I have pre-cut because it takes a bit of time to cut all these. So I have Calypso Coral, Grapefruit Grove, Mango Melody, and Pineapple Punch. A nice bright array of happy colors for this card. Now, how did I cut those? So again, with the circles, the layering circles die, gotta get the name right, you know, it's important. And then I have this post-it tape that I got just at Staples. Sometimes I use washi tape, but I don't really want to waste my washi tape for something that I'm not going to keep. I want to use my washi tape for decoration. So This is Post-it note tape. It's great because it does not stay stuck to things because it's Post-it adhesive, right? So I arranged my framelits all together, and then I can lay the Post-it tape over top like that. And then when I use my Big Shot, I have the whole thing here, but you don't need to see the whole thing. You just need the layers. So when I use my Big Shot, I just put all of those pieces together on a piece of paper, and I oddly do not have a piece of paper handy. No, I'll use this. I'm not going to cut it, just using it as an example. So then I can just lay that over top of my paper, have it sandwiched, run it through the Big Shot, and then when I am done, I can pop out all those. Those now will be individual cut circles like these ones. So pretty easy. You can do this with any stacking die like this. So it just opens up so many options, and it's awesome, and I hope that you will try it for yourself. Sorry, I'm just trying to put my Big Shot away. It's awkward. There we go. Okay, so that's what I did. And now I'm going to show you a card that I made this morning that will show off another card with a similar layout to the Hoppy, So Hoppy Together stamp set that I used. Okay, so this card, like I said, has these parts here. And I'll tell you my dimensions. So this is 3.5 by 4 3/4 in the Coastal Cabana. I pre-cut, obviously, the largest circle. This one here is just 1/16 bigger on all sides. So just that, just to have a little bit of a edge, that thin edge. I just really like just a thin mat around things. Some people like a wider mat. It's just personal preference. So I'm going to glue my pre-cut Coastal Cabana. This wasn't in color back in the day, and I was so glad that they brought it back to be a permanent part of the colors with Stampin' Up! Because I love this color. The other one I really like is called, what is it called? I'm not going to remember it now. Cool Caribbean is the other one. I really like that one too, but we don't have it anymore. Very sad. Okay, so you can see it has that nice edge, which I really like. So then it's a matter of layering all of these circles, and I'm using the Tombow liquid glue because I just feel like I have a lot of control with it. It is a bit mucky on the end, I see, but it'll just have to do. So normally I could pick off that gross dried on bits with paper towel or tissue or something. So I'm going to just use the liquid glue in a circle and glue each section together. And by doing this, so the difference between this technique and just layering over top is that this allows me to have less bulk and less weight on my cards, which is nice when you're mailing them. It's nice to have less bulk and less weight. So now the Groovy Guava. Groovy Guava, there's an old one. Not Groovy Guava. This is not Groovy Guava. This is that other color that I can't remember the name of. Grapefruit Grove. Thankfully I wrote them down this time, not like last time. Last time was embarrassing. But I recovered. You know, it's good to not be all together all the time. It's just too hard. It's just too stressful to try to be all together all the time. So once in a while, I rebel, although not on purpose. Okay, and then pineapple punch in the middle. Oops, oh, that's not good. Don't do that. Okay, so see, it's not a lot of bulk, and it's nice and tidy. I like tidy, as we have discussed before. Okay, I'm still going to use that glue. Not quite yet. Maybe we'll put it away for now so it doesn't dry out. Okay, so then I want to add a little bit of Sahara sand. It's going to sit down here and make this sort of look like a little bit of a sunrise or a sunset, perhaps. Either way, awesomeness. I am going to stamp. The stamp is Just Breathe, and that's part of the Colorful Seasons stamp set. Just Breathe. You can see that this is way bigger than the picture. They have so many stamps in this set that they had to make the pictures smaller on the cover than they actually are. So all of the images are much bigger in reality than the picture shows. Okay, so I'm using my embossing buddy because we're going to heat emboss some white embossing powder using this Just Breathe. And because it's a photopolymer, I am also going to use my Stamp and Pierce mat. I'm going to put it underneath my paper. And again, the reason we use the Stamp and Pierce mat is because the photopolymer stamps don't have any kind of foam backing on them. So to get a really crisp, clear image, using the foam underneath your paper will make that image more, I don't know, more certain. It'll do what you want it to do, for goodness sakes. A more even pressure. Okay, so we're using Versamark ink. And I'm stamping this Just Breathe. I find this one a little bit challenging because of the beautiful script that it's in. It's just a little challenging to get straight. So I'm going to use my grid paper to guide me and hope for the best. Pressing firmly. Hey, that looks pretty good. Okay, and then we'll use some white embossing powder. And again, I've got it in my Tupperware container. These little Tupperware containers are pretty awesome. I don't have a Tupperware consultant at the moment. My Tupperware consultant retired from Tupperware. Moved on to 31 Gifts, actually. So the embossing buddy is supposed to prevent the little bits from sticking to the edges. Sometimes if there's oils on your paper, those ones are a little harder to avoid, but it definitely helps using the embossing buddy. And if there's static on your paper, then the embossing buddy is definitely going to fix that so that your powder doesn't stick where you don't want it to stick. Okay, so then I don't need the mat anymore. I'm going to take that out. And then I'm going to use my heat tool. I'm going to heat set, my embossing powder. Pardon the noise. Look at that. It just looks so fresh when you have white words on a surface. I just love that. Now, I was just thinking, and I'm going to look in my catalog because, whoops, past it. Wouldn't this, so that's, whoops, that's going to be like that, right? But what do you think? Wouldn't it, I wonder what it would look like if I had the pineapple punch embossing powder. I think that could look really cool. This set of embossing powders has, where are they? Blueberry Bushel, Call Me Clover, Grapefruit Grove, Lovely Lipstick, and Pineapple Punch. So Grapefruit Grove and Lovely Lipstick both would look really neat with this card, I think. And of course you can also get the other colors. So black, clear, copper, gold, silver, and white are also available from Stampin' Up. I use the white a lot, just because you can, you can use it on any color, even on white, but you can use black. Well, you can use any of them on any color. What am I saying? I don't know what I'm saying. I think what I'm saying is it just makes the letters pop using the lighter color on darker cardstock. I quite like that combination. And you can't do that with ink. Not well. We do have craft white ink, and that allows you to put some white to stamp with white ink on dark cardstock, but it doesn't pop quite as much as the embossing powder does. Okay, so that's that. The next phase will be to add the Adirondack chair. So that's from the Seasonal Layers Thinlits dies. So this one here. So you run that through your Big Shot with your paper of choice. And I did it in advance for you guys. I chose to use a sheet of the Wood Textures Designer Series paper. So that gives my Adirondack chair an actual wood coloring, which I think is cool. I don't know about you. So that's die cut, but first, I almost forgot, I want to add some linen thread. So I have my linen thread here. It now comes on a roll actually instead of on this paper slab. It comes on like a spool now. Okay, so I am going to attach. Do you see where I'm going with this? Okay, I'm going to attach my linen thread. I'm going to wrap it around a couple times. Let's do three times. I always leave it attached to my spool or whatever it's on because I feel like I waste a lot less, and that makes me happy. I don't want to have little bits of ribbon everywhere. I want to have as much as possible to use in the future. So a lot of times if you pre-cut it, you cut it too short and then you waste that whole section, or you cut it too long and then you end up with you know, little excess pieces left over. So this way I'm not going to have anything left over in this case, although I can't seem to tie this tight. Let's try that one more time. I got to use my one finger down on the knot to hold it tight while I tie the bow. There we go. All right. Fiddling with the bow is what I do. Not everybody is very fiddly. I am very fiddly when it comes to my bows. Okay, cutting off my end with my paper snips. I am liking how it's looking. Are you liking how it's looking? If you like how it's looking and you're on Facebook Live with me right now, which I don't think I have anybody on right now. You know what? I started late and that probably didn't help, but that's okay because you're going to watch it later. So if you're watching later and you're on Facebook, you can click on the heart button if you see where this is going and you like what you're seeing. If you are on YouTube and watching this later, because this will go on YouTube later, then you can just click on that thumbs up button and, you know, give me a little bit of encouragement. Let me know you like what you see. Okay, you see what I'm doing? Pretty fun. I'm liking it. Okay, I'm going to attach my Adirondack chair. There are a couple ways to do this. Stampin' Up! Actually has die cut sheets, and I could have cut it with a die cut sheet attached to my paper already and then run it through the Big Shot. Then I would just have to peel off the backing and stick it down. I am actually a very lazy stamper. Some of you won't be surprised at that. So taking that extra step is just too much for me. So instead, I'm very carefully applying my Tombow liquid glue in dots. Now, some people find that it helps to use a toothpick to apply. Then you don't get an accidental, barfing of this stuff, because sometimes an air bubble gets in here and then it barfs, and that's a big mess because, as I've said before, when this dries, it dries tacky. So if it doesn't have any paper in between, then it'll be tacky forever, and that's just annoying and collects dirt and dust and all sorts of things. Okay, so I've got my glue on the back, and then I'm going to attach this guy right about there, making sure he's straight. You know what I'd really like to do with him? Why is it a boy? I don't know. What I would have liked to do is pop him up with dimensionals, but because the spaces are so small, that would just have been a big nightmare, so I'm not doing that. Now, Stampin' Up! Ever came up with adhesive-backed foam to attach to your paper before running it through the Big Shot, and if it actually could function that way, I would be all over that, because that would be awesome. Okay, look at that. I like it. I like it. I like it. Okay, the last step is to dimensional this onto my card base. So I'm going to use my dimensionals. These are the regular size dimensionals, because if I use regular size dimensionals, there's less backs to peel off. And because I have so many layers, I think that the large ones will do the job quite nicely. And by that, I mean when you have a thin piece of paper, like say designer series paper, because it's a thinner paper, if you use dimensionals, you're going to end up with some sagging. The paper will sag over time, just moisture in the air and gravity. So then I would use more dimensionals, or I would add more layers to make it have a little more shape. But I have lots of layers, so in this case I'm not too worried about it. Although I still put on 6, so I guess I'm worried enough. I like to be thorough. Where's my... So I always pre-score, I always pre-score my card bases using my Simply Scored tool. I don't often show that one because it's so big, that tool. So I kind of skip that step with you guys. Okay, so then our last step is to attach this on here. And it is so bright and so cheerful, and just, doesn't it make you smile? This one makes me smile. Really, it does. I mean, this guy does too. They both do. They're just happy. They're just happy cards. Like if you got one of these cards, I think that you would smile. You just can't help yourself. I know it's true. So if you like any of these products, my friends, then you are welcome to go to my blog, inkingonthefly.com, and see what's there, and maybe you'll find something that you like and something that you would want to order from me if you're in Canada. If you're not in Canada, there are lots of demonstrators throughout the world, so I'm sure you'll be able to find someone who will be more than happy to help you. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed seeing how you could use circle framelits, the layering circles, framelits dies, to make some really neat backgrounds on your cards. Also, I wanted to say too, now where did I put them here? Because I've been doing a lot of these cards, look at this. I have all of these. Look at how fun they are, all these colors. I have all of these circles that I have not used yet because these ones I had certain pattern of color that I wanted to follow, right? So then I ended up with all of these. So now my challenge to myself is to figure out what to do with all these. I have some ideas. So I could either do more cards like this, or I could do maybe something different. So I think I'm going to do something different. I will share it with you when I come up with whatever it is. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoy your day.